looking at fourth quarter right now. You're, at this point, 12 minutes away from victory.
We're 12 minutes away, but that's a long time. Because right now we can't think about victory. We just think about fighting for lives. As you see, some of them doing a good job of it. Every once in a while, Austin breaks something off like that. You know that they're still out there today. We got a lot of pride in the fact that they're fighting for something to do. There's Morgan running down the road. Big boy, 6'4", 265. Sam University, Alabama. He's a very good football player. Very talented and good. I think he has a bright future in town. You can see now how the rain is really come in. It's all just very bound. The football field, the only thing is not saturated. And standing on the sideline, the water just running over your shoes.
Now, what kind of shoes do the players have on?
They had on, most of them had on AstroTurf, and whether they were playing did. AstroTurf shoes, a lot of our kids were wearing all year. They were just a rubber sole shoe that has a lot of small cleats on it. It gives you a lot more traction. And the traction on the football field, surprisingly, is very good, even though the field is as wet as it is. The kids felt that they were completely under control running. Just handling the football was so good. There we all got it for 2 or 3 plays, and we're going to kick it right back to them.
But you get off a pretty decent bunt that time.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best one we had. About 7, 8 yards. And what I'm talking about on defense is you see people coming in there and gang tackling. That's one of the most demoralizing things going on in the football. When you have a good tackle defense and somebody with a good tackle. I think our defense is that kind this year. Those people are supposed to see that kind of play. I tell you, Ron, in fourth quarter, all we're trying to do is just hang on the ball and hope that clock don't run. Paul Danforth did a real good job there, hit in there and went out and bounced outside. Hadn't made a good run and a big first down for us. It gave us 4 more tries at it. We come back and fumble right there, but Tide gets his own fumble back.
I believe this was the last series of the game.
It's moving down, getting close to him. I think you're right. I believe we're going to keep the ball the rest of the game. It's probably the first time we can play the football in the second half. We did keep it like 4 and 5 minutes here to play football. Here's a big play right here. Kenny Allen comes to him and a play. Big play. Valuable yardage as well as first down. We're going to keep possession and have a lot more life.
That play kind of took them by surprise, didn't it?
Yes, we hadn't run Kenny much in this ball game. It's primarily been Paul and Todd, and there goes Todd on another big play. He's just getting stronger and stronger as we go, and Paul is too. And I think we stuck Kenny in there about 6 or 7 times on him. He did a good job. There goes again on the same play and picked up about 3.
Now, there's less than a minute to go now, about 45 seconds in the game, and your stomach's got to be full of butterflies, huh?
Well, it's getting close, and that's like something like that dead bit. We group right here. I think we just do a good ball in that. We're not going to get on. Let the clock on. Austin got it now. We just want to kill man and give these kids a chance to be safe and work very hard.
Okay, we got just seconds left in the game. I think we have time for 1 more, maybe 2 more plays, and it's just a matter of falling down on it now.
I think we're going to have to fall down. One more man, we're going to let one man run it down about 6 seconds. Call timeout. We got 1 more play, 4th down here. timeout, so it's hard just to take the ball, drop back.
You could actually speak in this timeout?
Oh, yes. Todd was very coherent and paid attention. He's just supposed to take the ball and run it, but he sees zeros and then ball. He does a good job right here. Outside, comes back under, sees zeros, he lays it down, and that's it. That's a signing time. Talking to those people who work down the ball.
Coach, it was an awful nasty night up there, but it was a good ball game, and the big thing is that Murphy came out on top.
Well, it was a big thing, and it really brought to the conclusion of the season that we all enjoyed and will remember. And I think it's a real tribute to these young men who have been willing to prepare to win all year and have really done a tremendous job doing it.
You had a lot of ball players injured throughout the year. Many of them did not play in the state championship game, and I know you feel bad about that because they couldn't play.
Well, we had several young men who had been starters throughout the season and at various points in the season were lost to us. The first one lost to us was Michael Pierce, which everybody in Mobile knows who Michael is, and everybody in Alabama football probably knows who he is. He's a sophomore. He had started the first 8 ball games and started the 9th one for us. Didn't play in the 8th one. Had 1,488 yards on 206 carries. It was a very significant part of us being undefeated to that point and probably setting the trend of this football team. In addition to Michael, John Malbus was the next young man that was lost. He was lost in the first playoff game against Fairhope with a knee injury. Had to have an operation to repair ligaments in his leg. John was a person who was switched from defense to offense to fill in a void and has come on and done a very good job of representing himself and this football team and contributing to it. And then the third person is Gene Lofton, and who was also an offensive starter at tight end, handled all the kicking for football team, and sometimes you don't realize a person's importance till you lose them, and Gene was one of those people. He played tight end for us, but when he went out and we started trying to replace him, it took one to replace him when we wanted to throw a pass, one to replace him when we wanted to block, one to take his kickoff responsibilities, one to punt for him, and one to do the extra point. So it took 5 people to replace him, and he was a tremendous asset to the football team. It was very unfortunate that all of these young men weren't able to play in this, the first state championship for Murphy.
Coach, if you thought the pressure was on last year when you were coming off a 3-7 season, pressure's really on this year because people always like you to duplicate what you did the year before.
Well, I would like to more than they would, and it's a fact of athletics and a fact of life that you build pressure, and that's what you work for. You work to excel, and once you excel, you have to strive to stay there. And this is part of it. This is what we expect, and this is definitely what we want to work to accomplish.
Spring football practice is over. What did you learn in the spring? And because you won a state championship, have you had a lot more kids come out for the sport for next year?
Well, anytime you win, it has a snowballing effect on interest, and it certainly did at our place. As we had a number of young people who wanted to come out and try it. We kept 40 that weren't out for football in the spring program, in the freshman program or in the varsity program last year. Here we finished up spring with 114 kids, which is probably the most we've ever finished up with. And surprisingly, we found a lot of kids that we were counting on to play next year. They just come through and do what they are capable of doing. And the spring found us, I think that defensively we are set with the personnel we have to have another good defensive football team. Offensively, we're at the point where we're going to have to make some more changes and find 2 or 3 more people to have a good offense. But we're working on that now in the off-season program and striving toward those ends.
Okay, we got 1 state championship. Maybe we'll get another next year, right?
I hope so.
Okay. I didn't know how you wanted me to close that out, Richard.
Heads up!
Ryan, y'all need to get partners.